Hi there. So this video is a little recap on cell name and ranges in Excel, and it's one of the other small videos that complement the main 4 modules that you can go through in this course. So let's take a look at a particular cell. I click on a cell. You'll notice that wherever I click, it has the row, so in this case it's row 10, and the column, which is D. And you'll notice in the name box up here, it will say D10. So let's do a quick example, right? So let's say I have a number that I use over and over again, and a common one is tax. So let's zoom in and I'll show you an example. So I have my tax formula, so we'll call it tax, and the tax rate is 0.13. Okay? Now, I could use this number over and over again in calculation. So let's look for an example. I have 2 plus 1, and I'm going to type in equals sum. We'll add those two numbers together, and I'll hit enter, and that gives me 2 plus 1 is 3. I'll go to home, and let's add an underline. We'll go over here, we'll do underline for the cell. So that would be bottom border. Okay, so this is our calculation. Now, I want to do the same kind of process, just add the numbers together, but I also want to add tax, right? So I could do, let's say I have 2, my second item is 1, and I add those together, I'm going to get 3, right? But what I want to do is, we'll do the same thing, equals sum, grab those two numbers, and then I want to add my tax. So what I'm going to do is equals this number times 0.13, right? And then I'm going to do equals sum these two together and hit enter. Okay, now the problem with this, my total is $3.39, which is the tax on $3. The problem with this, it can get very confusing if I want to change the tax rate all over the sheet, or if the tax rate changes. So I'll show you another example of how we could set this up. And I'll put in some words to make it make sense this time. So let's say toast is $1, juice is $2, and we'll put in dollar signs. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to make it actually currency, so the dollar sign is next to the numbers. So far so good. Now I'm going to write total, and let's put an underline over here. Now the total is going to be equals sum, bracket. We're going to grab these two numbers and hit enter. We get $3. Now we're going to put in tax, and then our grand total. Okay, maybe I'll even move this over a little bit so it all fits. Perfect. So now our tax, we could go equals the total times our tax. So it's equals D9, which is our total, times F2, which is our tax. And now it's not going to show me anything because I eliminated decimal places. And now over here, let's click on AutoSum and maybe bring this box up another one. There we go. Press enter, and it's going to be, again, we have to bring that out because of the decimals. Okay, so there you go. We have all of our numbers. It's all great. But right now, we're referring to the formula as F2, right? So let's do another example. I'll take these numbers here. I'm going to copy them over here. But this time, I'm going to change this to $3 and $5. Now you'll notice that everything updates automatically, except this cell's in the wrong place now. So we'll click back on here. Now the confusing thing is that could often change where our tax is. Now look at this. We could click on this cell on 0.13, which is in cell F2, click up in the box that says F2 and type in tax. Now in our formula, instead of typing in equals G9 times F2, we could write equals G9 times tax. And it will remember what tax means. So I could press equals 5 times tax, and there we go. It will give me the 13% of $5. Why is this important? Because if the tax rate changes, let's say 0.14, it will change everywhere else, right? And we're able to do that by using that number. And if you want to see a list of the custom ones you create, we could go into formulas, click on where it says name manager, and it will say tax. This is the value. This is where it is in F2, and this is the workbook. So we can go in here and edit those values as well, right? So you can create any custom word you want as long as it isn't already taken. So you can't use a formula name like sum or average, but you can use any other word. And I'll show you another example. Okay, so in this case, I have 4 items. Now these 4 items all have different prices, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on these cells, and I'm going to go create from selection, and I'm going to press create the names for the values in the left column. I'll press OK. Now let's check Name Manager, and there we go. So we have coffee, 99 cents, eggs, etc. So now, because we have these, we can create custom formulas like equals coffee plus toast, and it will tell me the price of coffee and toast without using cell references. So we could just use the names, right? Now you'll also notice that if I'm looking like, oh, I forgot what cell tax was in and I don't know what I called it, you can also click on this drop down here and it will show you all the custom names that you already saved. So by thinking of what numbers you're able to add in as custom names, it can make going through this a lot easier, right? So I hope this gives you some ideas about how you can save time using custom names.